Hi, everybody.
Hey, Terry.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Hi, everybody. I'm unmuting everybody.
Hello.
Hello. Let's see.
Hi, Terry.
Hi, guys. Hold on. Let me unmute everybody. I see everybody has video too, or does everybody have video? I see some people do, some people don't, so that's fine.
Hi.
Hi. Hi,
I'm
Teresa.
choosing not to put it on.
Okay, that's fine. I completely get it. Okay, so what I'd like to discuss today, let me just see. Can you guys see me? I don't think you can.
Can we what?
Can you see me?
No.
I just see a picture of you.
Oh, okay, good.
Oh.
So you can't see me or you can?
Just a picture.
The big green K.
A
I
still
see a big
picture.
green K
Thank
too.
you. I don't know why this isn't on. Let me just check it.
It's a good picture.
Okay, there it goes. All right, there I am. Hi, guys. So what I'd like to discuss today is just a few of the ways that you might begin to explore using some of the features in Command that will allow you to, hold on, I got to put one other person in here. Louise. Hi, Louise, can you hear us? I think Louise doesn't have any. So what I'd like to do today is just to explore some of the things that Command can do. Hold on. Wow, is somebody moving around?
Someone's having a fight or something.
Yeah, somebody's got some stuff going on out there.
Mhm.
Yoga, volunteering.
Hello. If you've got your phone on and you're doing some stuff, just unmute yourself, please. Okay, I mean, just mute yourself. Okay, so what we're going to do today is just explore a little bit about the different features. And the first feature I'd like to talk about is the new app. And a lot of people are having problems with the new app. Has anybody, if you could just say it, or you can also raise your hand. I don't know if you guys see that, but who's using the app here? Stephen, are you using it?
I'm using it.
Trisha?
No.
Hi, are you using the app?
I was able to log on and yes.
Okay. And Teresa Sullivan, are you with us?
I am. I have
Oh.
not used it yet.
Okay, and how about you, Kim? I know that you're relatively new to
Yes,
California.
I am. And I haven't got around to using it either. So
Okay, and I see Louise. I'm going to unmute her. We'll see what's going on. So,
Yes, I'm using it.
Oh, good. Hi, Louise. Is that Louise?
It is Louise, yes.
Hello.
Hi.
So, if you're not using the app, you absolutely should be. And there's some confusion around the app. The first thing is that the app is not like our old app. It is not meant for you. It is meant for the consumer. And the whole idea behind the app is that you will you get into the app and you start to use it, and you start to share it, and you allow your customers to use it on their own, and you from the back end can see from a very granular level what they're interested in. So for example, your customers are not only going to be able to view by MLS listing or view by zip code, but they're going to be able to view things on a granular level. Like they're going to be able to say, gee, I want to see all the homes with hardwood floors, or I want to see all the homes that are ranch style, or I want to see all the homes, things that you wouldn't normally pick up on. And you're going to be able to use that information to help find them different homes. Okay. So Trisha, I don't know if you know this, but every time you do that, I can see that. It's a little distracting. Trisha's playing around with the enhanced backgrounds, which is very cool. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share a few screens with you, and I just want to explain to you these on answers.kw.com. I just want to go through some of the things that will allow you, that you can do on the app that will allow you to really connect with your customers. And then I'd like to show you one way that you can advertise your app through social media. So you can use this time. I know that it's a downtime for a lot of people, so I would say use it to get a campaign going, to share your app, to start to know how to use your app, and to explore all the different things that you can do with your app. That's one thing. The other thing I'd like to show you today, if you're not already using Smart Plans, is Smart Plans. And you can actually, they now have a built-in Smart Plan. A Smart Plan is just a campaign where the steps have been set up for you. And they actually have created a Smart Plan that's already built for you that allows you to share your app through a Smart Plan, which is an automated plan, and we'll go through that in a few minutes. But let me just share a screen with you right now. Let's see. And let's share this one. So, hold on. So this is in, where I am at is answers.kw.com. And I know I talk about this site all the time, but this is really a place that if you guys aren't into right now, you should be. You should be using this time. If I were you and I was pretty new to KW, or I wasn't, I haven't explored Command enough, I would be on this site for at least an hour or more every day. Answers.kw.com. And this is basically the knowledge base of all the articles showing you what to do with every feature in Command and the app and Kelly and everything else that KW offers you. So this is all I did was I went into answers.kw.com and I simply searched under consumer app or KW app. And this is all the articles that come up, and there's even more. So here are all the articles that you can see. And just start on getting started with your KW app. And this is going to show you, I don't have, I was going to try to show you, but I don't have a connection to hook up my iPhone to my computer screen so that I can show you how to use the app properly. But you really should download the app. And there is a right way and a wrong way to download the app. If you just go to the App Store, you're not going to be able to download the app properly so that you can brand it. Now, it's not that important that you brand it to yourself, but it's really important right here where it says, click here to learn how to find your KW URL and text code. That is very important. Those directions you should follow. Those directions are going to show you where to go inside Command, very easy, to find the URL code. And that's the code that you always want to share your consumer app with. So for example, if you're doing a Facebook ad or you're doing something else and people ask you if they can get a copy of your app, and it is a great app, then you're going to either give them the URL code or the text code. They're going to text your code and your URL are specific to you and to your app. And so they can either text your personal code to 87778, or they can go in and click on the URL. So you're going to want to see that, and you're also going to want to, under Get Started, as you can see, they show you everything here. And you're going to download your KW app. That's where you should start. You should start with download your KW app. Don't do it now, but what you're going to do now is you're going to download it the proper way so that you can brand it to yourself. And that's always good. However, you should know that anyone who has your app, as you may have seen, can go in and they can always change the person, their agent. But the reason it's important for you to do it properly and download it properly and brand it to you is because when you share your app, and this is important, you have to share your app. Make sure your app, you are you are logged in, you're signed on to your app under your name, because when you share it that way, you're going to be sharing it, giving your potential customers your URL and your text code. Now, why is that important? That's really important because that text code is going to be what Command uses to send you back information about those consumers. So this is the way the app works. You share it with somebody. As long as you've got your app, you are logged in as you with your KW email. So what you're going to do first is you're going to download the app properly. You're going to see that it's branded to you. And then you are going to keep the app open. You know, you can log out of the app, not log out, but you can swipe the app off your phone and still be logged in. And when you share it with people, you want to make sure that you're logged into the app. Now that's important because when you share it, as soon as somebody else gets it, a customer or a potential client, they're going to have to sign in. And when they sign into the app, to the app, they're going to be signing in and attaching automatically to your URL or text code. And that's how Command's going to know to send you their information. And as soon as somebody signs into your app, you're going to see a new lead inside Command in your contacts database. And it'll have a little L right next to it, so you'll know that it's a lead. And I'm going to show you in a minute how you can go about finding the people who have, if you have a lot of people in your database, I'm going to show you how you can go about finding all those people in your database who have signed on with your app. Now, some of the other things that you can do, if you scroll down here, you can, there is a consumer guide within your app, and it's a really slick consumer guide. The consumer guide is there's one for buyers and one for sellers. And the one that they already have inside the app is pretty cool. And I think it could be used just as is. However, you can go in and you can change that. Now you have to do that through Command. And if you click here, there's just too much to sort of go through and show you all today. So I want to point you to the resources. And if you have questions, feel free to come back to me. And we can either Zoom together or Skype together, or we can simply do it the old-fashioned way and talk over the phone, or if you have questions, you can email me. But you should learn about the consumer guide, because the consumer guide you can change inside the app. That alone makes this app a really, really beneficial tool for your clients. So you'll go in and you'll take a look at that consumer app, and you'll also figure out how you can go in through your Command account, not on the app, but through your Command account, and change up pictures or text or anything in that consumer app. The other thing that you can do that obviously is very, very important is the app obviously will send you the names, as I said, an email address, and any other information that the app picks up when your clients that you share the app with, when they log in. But in addition to that, they're going to be looking at different searches. They're going to be saving favorites into a favorites folder. It's a very easy to use app. So you're going to want to know what your potential buyers, or maybe people who aren't even potential buyers yet. That's what you have to keep in mind. This app will let you track people for days, for weeks, for months, whatever it takes. And you want to be able to keep track of what they're looking at and what kind of homes they're looking at, and if that changes, for example. And I've been on I don't know about you guys, I've been on a ton of the KW Connect webinars, and we're going to go over those in a few minutes too. If you're not already on the Connect Live webinars, you really should be taking a look at some of them. They have set up a whole thing called Pivot and inside KW Connect, and they're really, really great webinars. Some of them are only like 30 minutes long, and a lot of them have been talking about using this time in the shift period to make sure that you can sort of put your feelers out there and connect with as many potential customers as possible. And I forget his name, but one guy was talking about, he's got a huge team, and he was talking about it's kind of like Nordstrom's, he said. He said, when you walk into Nordstrom, somebody always comes up to you and says, you know, can I help you? And that's just great. But what do you say? You say, no, thank you, I'm just looking. And then, you know, you look around, and 45 minutes later, when you've picked some piece of article of clothing or something that you want to buy, you don't go back and look for that initial person that came up to you at the front door. You don't go back to try to find them and say, oh, now you can help me. What do? You look around for the most available salesperson that you can find, and you say, hey, you know, can I purchase this, or can you help me with this? So it's the same thing in real estate. The analogy is you have to always, always be top of mind with your customers, and you can't expect immediate results. The idea is that these tools that are built in to Command are there so that you can work on people days, weeks, months, sometimes years. That's what it's meant to fill your pipeline. That's what that means. And sooner or later, they're going to want to purchase a home. They're going to want to sell their home. And then if you are the person who is always the person who's kept in touch with them, you are the person that they're going to touch, they're going to reach out to and say, hey, I'm ready now. I think I'd like to start seeing homes. I think I'd like to sell my home. I'm thinking about it. It's not going to happen now, but it will happen in the future. And that's the whole idea behind all of these consumer outreach products inside Command. So I strongly suggest that you start to learn how to use this app. The other thing you can do is once you have downloaded and branded the app to yourself, you can then log in under a personal email address, and you can see just what your clients will be seeing. So you can use it just as your customer would use it, and you can see all of the things that your customer can do. But remember, this app is meant for you to be in touch with your clients. A lot of realtors, especially realtors who've been using the old KW app, who've been with the company for years, come up to me and say, yeah, but it's not branded to me. And I say, well, how did you used to use the app? And they were like, well, I'd send it out to the app, and when the people were ready, you know, they had my name in front of them and they'd contact me. No, that's not the way that this is set up to work. This is set up to work so that you, as the agent, are the person who is providing, as they say, agency. You're the person reaching out. Hold on, I have some people. Hey, Scott. Anyway, so you're the person reaching out to your clients. It's not the other way around. So when you see your customers are using this app, when you see they're playing around, that's the time for you to take those new leads that you'll see in Command and put them on some sort of a plan, a campaign that is automated or semi-automated. And that's where Command comes in again. We're going to talk about smart plans. So you're going to take these people and you're going to funnel them into some kind of a semi-automated campaign. And we're going to talk about that next. Questions? Okay. Okay, so the first thing I would tell you to do then is to go to this page, which is Get Started with the KW app. Again, we are on answers.kw.com. And the reason I keep pointing you guys to all this stuff is that I can't possibly, within an hour or so, show you guys how to do all of this stuff. But one thing Keller Williams is stellar on is providing training and training materials and providing the support. Now, if you get into this, listen, guys, if you're all unmuted, so if you could, you got to keep it down. I don't know if that's who that is. Hold on. Okay. So, let's see. So yeah, so the first thing you want to do is you want to learn how to download your app. That's right here. Then you want to click and learn how to find your app URL and text code. Okay. And then you want to know how to share your app. The other thing that you need to know how to do is manage your client customer guide with your app and look at your client's engagement. So I'm going to go into, hold on, let me just see. Are you guys seeing the seeing command now where it says welcome, Terry?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So what'll happen is in command, when you get a new client and the client logs into your app, they will show up here and there'll be a little L next to their name, and that will mean lead. So here's Al Stiles. We'll just click on him. What will happen is this Al would be, if he was a client or a prospective client, he would be marked as a lead. And there would be a little L. You see this little L up here?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you'll see. So what you can do is to find all of the people who are in your database who have that little L, you can filter. You click on filters, okay? And then, let me move this guy's over here. And then what you can do is you can filter where it says branded to me down here on the bottom, okay? You just say yes. And branded to you will be all those people who logged in using your app.
Where is that? Yeah.
Okay. Hold on, I'll show you again. Let me get out of here. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to contacts first in command. And then you're going to click on filters, which is right here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then inside filters, all the way down here on the bottom, it says branded to me. And you're going to say, okay, I want to filter for everyone branded to me. Because if you download your app properly and you brand it to yourself and then you share it, always remember to share the app when you're on it. So in other words, you're logged in as you, the agent, and you'll share that app with your URL or your code. Those people will show up with a little L next to their name in your database. But if you have 500 people and you don't want to go, you know, how do you sort those people out in your database? Well, this is how you do it. You go branded to me, yes, and apply. And once you hit that, that's going to bring up all the people in your database who have come into your database via that app. Okay?
Okay.
So that's how you filter out and figure out who's in your database. And what you can do then is if you do that every morning, let's say, then you'll have a whole list of people who have come to you via your app. And when you do that, then you can go in and you can start looking. And that's something else I showed you back here with get started with your app, right down here where it says click to learn how to track your client's engagement. So that's the first thing you're going to do. You're going to share your app with a campaign plan, and then you're going to every morning you can go in and you can just check your command contacts by filtering out those names, and then you can take a look at what they are looking at. If they have made folders, favorites folders, if your customers are looking for things, that gives you an idea of what they're looking for, and that allows you to customize either your scripts and your phone calls or the information that you might want to send them. Okay, so that's sort of like the first few steps with using the app. Now, I'd like to also go through and show you quickly a smart plan that's very, very easy for sharing your app. So here I am. Let's get back to command. I'm in my main command dashboard. And all I need to do is, there's a couple of places I can go. One is campaigns, and we're going to look at that in a minute. But the other thing that makes it a lot easier, if you don't want to get into campaigns and you don't want to spend money on Facebook ads right now, for example, because this might not be the best time to be spending money, So one of the things you can take advantage of is, if I can find it, Smart Plans. So Smart Plans are already built in for you. And there's a bunch of Smart Plans. These are my personal Smart Plans. So what you're gonna do when you get here, and again, don't worry about picking everything up here now, because you're gonna go into answers.kw.com and you're going to look up Smart Plans, and it's gonna take you through. And one of the things you're gonna go through is, so you'll click on Library. And if you wanna learn how to use a Smart Plan or set up your own Smart Plan, a quick and easy way to do it is to go to Smart Plan Kelly Guide, this green box right over here. What that will do, especially if you're new to the company, that's very important for some of you. If you're new to the company and you haven't done the setup necessary to get going on command, for example, you should be setting up a marketing profile and a couple of other things. When you see these Kelly Guides, if you're new to KW, always use the Kelly Guide, because what the Kelly Guide does is it takes you back to step one. It assumes that you haven't done anything yet. All the prerequisites to using a Smart Plan, for example, or the prerequisites for using a campaign properly. And it will start you at the gate and work you through step by step, every place you have to go. So if you're completely lost, or if you're new to the company, this is the place you want to start. And these Smart Plans aren't, these Kelly Guides aren't just in Smart Plans. They're in almost every single feature of command. Really kind of cool. Basically what they are is the knowledge base that is answers.kw.com. They take those knowledge base articles and they apply them in a logical sequence in these what they call Kelly Guide Smart Plans. And that's really cool because you can back up and do what's needed to be done to move forward, okay? So here we are inside our Smart Plans and the library. That's where you want to go. And as you can see, there's, let's see, 4, 8, there's 10 different Smart Plans now. And a lot of them will be added in the future, okay? And one of the Smart Plans is Promote My App right here. If you want to see the different steps of the Smart Plan, all you have to do is view the steps right here. And it shows send an HTML email, then delay a day. So this is, for example, this is for you to promote your app. So you would send an email to promote your app, then you'd wait a day, then you'd send a text message, then you'd wait 3 days, then you'd send a text message, and so on and so forth. So this is already made for you, and all you need to do is click on Add a Smart Plan. And I can't because I've already done it, but you could just say Add Smart Plan. And then when you go up to your Smart Plans, it's going to show you, your Promote My App Smart Plan right here, okay? And then all you're going to do is you're going to add clients to it, or you can edit it. So that's another feature. Some of these Smart Plans are editable, some aren't. And what you're going to do is, here's your editing. So you can edit what the email says. You can edit what the text message says. And a really cool thing is that you can have this Smart Plan run. Let's say you can run it once and then wait 20 or 30 days and then run it again and wait 10 days and run it again. And every time you run it, you can have a different text message going out with it. So the first time you run it, maybe to people who you met at an open house or whatever, hey, just wanted to reach out and let you know in these tough times that, I'm here for you. I thought you might want to look at my app. It can do this, that, or the other thing. Then your second text message might be something else, more appropriate to that time frame, a month from now, whatever is going to happen, and so on. Now, just to back up a little bit, Remember, most of you know this, but remember that to use texting, you have to be in command and you have to have connected Twilio to your text account, okay? And to connect any app, you go up here where your name is, you click on the down arrow, and you go to your settings. And Twilio does cost money, and when you, if I can find it, it's right here. So when you connect Twilio, you're gonna see this screen. This is your bulk text app that goes with command. Now, the way Twilio works is they will ask you for your credit card information. However, if you go into Twilio.com, it's really inexpensive. Twilio.com, it charges very, very little for thousands. I think you may even get your first 1,000 texts for free. So per month. So what you're gonna do is you're going to give them your credit card, and the very first time you run a smart plan or you do a bulk text to so many people, let's say 100 people, they're going to charge your credit card $20. Now that doesn't mean that Twilio is charging you $20 for, let's say, 100 texts. It just means that they charge at $20 increments. And then when your account goes less than $10, they're going to bring it back up to $20 again. But it really is a very cost effective, even though I know everybody's trying to cut costs right now, Twilio is really cost effective. I think you should go into Twilio.com, but I'm pretty sure you get 500 or 1,000 texts every month for free. So it's definitely worth setting up. The second thing that you want to make sure you want to see is that you don't use MailChimp for any smart plan. What you use for smart plans is what's called command email. And command email was set up by KW to give you an inexpensive, almost free way of sending out emails. Now, you only can use this, first of all, it's automatically applied when you do any smart plan. So if you go into a smart plan and you click, yes, I would like to send an email to these 500 people and I'd like it to go out every 3 weeks or whatever, it's automatically going to do that through command email. The other thing you should know is that command email is really, really cheap. I think that you get your first 5,000 emails every month for free. And if you click on manage down here, it'll show you how much you get. It says, okay, you've sent one of 5,000. So you get 5,000 emails, bulk emails every month. That's pretty great for most people. I think that, you need a huge database to start to actually be charged under this thing. But just so you know, you're not spending any money. So you can set up a campaign, and even if you don't want to spend the pennies on Twilio, you can do emails and you can do phone calls. So I'm going to go back to,
So Twilio is for text messages?
Twilio is for text. Yep, Trisha. And then command email for smart plans, just for smart plans, will always be used for your bulk email. Now, if you go ahead and you do bulk email through a campaign, that's not going to use command email. That's probably going to use MailChimp.
Oh.
So that's why I'm staying away from that now. I'm trying to show you an inexpensive and fast way to start communicating, and building your pipeline right now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hold on. I just want to make sure I don't have anybody left in the. Okay. Go out of my way. Okay.
I missed the class yesterday.
Oh, that's okay. So let me see where I was. Okay. So I'm going to go back to Smart Plans here. And I hope you're all seeing that. Okay. So here I am in my Smart Plans. So what did I do? I went to my library. I picked Promote My App. I picked Add to Smart Plan. And then I went back to My Smart Plans here on top. And it shows up. Promote My App is right here. So the next thing I can do is I can edit it. and I strongly suggest for you guys to edit it. Like I said, if you add multiple, it's called dynamic text messaging. So what that does is every time you rerun this smart plan, every time it runs anew, it will run with the next up text message, which is kind of cool. You can put in 3, 4, 5 different text messages. The other thing you should see is that here is my text message. Hey, this is, now where did this come from? Everybody see this? Agent first name, agent last name. This is Terry Pence with the blank team. Did you see that a neighbor listed a home in your area? There should be a question mark. Download my brand new app to check it out. Here's the social app link, okay? So where did these come from? These came from right here. Use merge fields. So if you click on this, this is what you're gonna add in. Ah, somebody's making a lot of noise. So I can just sit here and I can type in hi. Sorry, I'm gonna have to mute everybody because there's a lot of noise going on right now. I can just say hi. This is, now I want my name. So I simply click here and I say, I look for agent first name and it goes in, and I want my last name, agent last name, and then I put a comma and I say, you know, whatever. Your friendly real estate agent, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But you get the idea. So this is how you set up your texts and your emails, the same thing, so that they'll go out and with all the right information. The other thing I can do is I can say, hello. And then let's say I want to use my client's name or my prospective client. I say contact first name. You know, hi, Bob, this is, and then I just fill in the information. Remember, you're going to go to answers.kw.com after this, and you're going to click on Smart Plans, and it's going to show you how to do all of this, okay? So this is editing of Smart Plans. Some Smart Plans are editable, some are not. But this one is the one you want to use, and this one is completely editable. And so the other thing I want to show you is that if I want to add a step, where is it? If I wanted to add a step, oh, this is an active Smart Plan, so I can't edit it that much. But if I want to edit step, over here it would say add step, and I could just add one. So let me go back here. And let me find a plan that isn't active. And this is what it looks like when you edit from scratch. So these are your choices over here. So the reason I didn't see these a minute ago is because that plan was technically active. So I just say create a task or make a call or send an email, and that'll go down as my step. So I'm going to say make a call. I click on this box and boom, it shows up here. Make a call. Now the cool thing is under make a call, I can actually sort out the number of people I want per day to make a phone call. And what's going to happen is that when I set this up and when I make this active, it is going to task me on my dashboard inside Command on whatever given day I have chosen to make that phone call. So if day one, I set up this plan and I say I want it to start on April 15th, then on April 15th, under my tasks in Command, it's going to show me all of the people that I need to call. I can also separate those names out so that I'm not calling 200 people on one day. So I could just say, call all leads that come in, for example, from, call all leads that come in from my app with last names A through D. And then I will be able to set that all up just like that, which is really kind of cool when you play with it and you see how much it can do. I can say then, second step can be send an email. And it's very easy. If I want to just move these steps, I'm like, no, I'd rather send an email and then I'd like to. So I can just move these, sorry. Move this down. And now I have sending an email first. So I can send the email and then make a call. And this says day 1 and this says day 1. Obviously I don't want day 1. I want it to be 50 days, up to 30 days later, I can change this. So I can say make a call and it can be up to 30 days later. So I know I'm running through this really fast. I just want to sort of give you an idea of the strength of this and the functionality so that you're hopefully you'll feel like it's a good enough tool that you can get into now that you have hopefully some time that you can get into and really, really start to play with. Here again is restart flow. That just means once I set up an entire plan the way I want it, I can say, okay, every 30 days, restart this plan. And there again, if I had added a text message to it with text messaging, I can say every time the plan restarts, make it a dynamic text message. So the first time this plan goes through, here's what I want my text message to say. The second time the plan goes through, this is the second text message I'd like, and so forth. Something else you should know is that people have asked, when you get a new lead, do they come in sort of right in the middle of your plan? So if you put new leads that you get in from your consumer app, this is to get people to use your app. Then once they get the app, hopefully you'll put them on another smart plan that says you could start texting them and whatnot. So when you get a lead, the question is, do they start your smart plan in the middle of it or do they start from the beginning? And the answer is they start from the beginning. The program is smart enough to know not to just throw them into the middle of a plan. It takes them and starts them on the start of the plan, okay? So in other words, individual people will be at different phases in this plan, which is actually really cool. That's the way you want it. Now, the only thing I've heard really negative about this plan is that text messaging, the way Twilio text messages, you may want to think twice about using it right away. What I would do is I would create a smart plan and send it to myself at my personal email. About a month ago, there was a complaint that Twilio was sending text messages like in the middle of the night, and that's not what you want. You don't want a potential client being dinged in the middle of the night and picking up their phone and seeing it's from some realtor they hardly know. That's not going to win you points. So a word of caution, always set up one of these plans to yourself first and run it that way. Because you're going to see all of the pros and cons. Now, they may have fixed that issue. I'm not sure. And let me show you a place that you can go if you're ever wondering. There's a couple of resources you can use to figure out what might be some issues inside Command and whether or not they fix them. One is the Facebook KW Command Facebook page. And all you need to do is go into your Facebook account and search for KW Command. They're going to ask you for your KW email address. And once you give it to them, within minutes, you'll be let into the group. And it's a really good place. People will complain. People will rejoice. People will talk about the good and the bad of everything Command on that Facebook page. The other place you can go is ideas.kw.com. Let me get you in there. Now, ideas.kw.com was originally developed by Keller Williams so that people could any agent could put in any idea they wanted. But it also is become a place where people go to figure out whether a certain feature or a certain fix has happened inside a piece of Command. So I'm going to click over here on Smart Plans. And then they say, enter your idea. And let's say, I'm going to say schedule Twilio texts and see where that gets me. So here's a bunch of Twilio texts returns, enable the forwarding of Twilio number to phone. So it looks like they're not working on it. Forwarding incoming calls. So it looks like not a lot of people have a problem with the fact that it doesn't text during the day. It texts sometimes in the evening. It actually texts randomly. In our market center, a lot of people have had a problem with that. Apparently, a lot of people don't have a problem with it nationwide. But if they did, you can see that you could upvote things, needs review, and then you'll eventually see certain things that'll say, this has been enabled. So they will, I will tell you that Command Tech Labs does pay attention to what you say. And so I strongly, strongly, strongly advise you to put all of your ideas or your wants for this program into ideas.kw.com. Because if you don't, the more you communicate with them, the more love we get back from them. And if we don't communicate with them and you guys only tell me, I'm only one person, but if 5 different people from our Norwell and our Braintree offices communicate through this portal, you're gonna see a difference. So,
What is our market center number? Is that 7737?
it's 735.
73.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. So, okay, let me go back here and we'll go back to, okay. So we talked about smart plans and we talked about your app. Some of the other things I want to show you. So hold on. Under smart plans, I just want to show you some of the other smart plans there are. So once you do get people onto, you use the Promote My App, and you start to see that, and you filter your contacts, and you start to see that you've got people coming into you through your app. Great. Then the next step is to take those folks and put them on another plan. So what I would recommend is that you put them on one of the nurture plans, neighborhood nurture. Long-term nurture is, I think, every year. Bi-weekly is obviously every other week. Monthly neighborhood nurture is a good place to start. Basically, what you do with a neighborhood nurture is you send people out a landing page, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. It's really cool, and it gives them all of the market information. So this is the way it works. You promote your app, people come in, you start to look at what they're looking at behind the scenes, and they're looking in a specific neighborhood in Quincy or in Norwell or wherever. So you go to your contacts database, and they're in there, okay? And I'm gonna search for, I think I put in a Minnie Mouse here. So I'm gonna search for Minnie Mouse, and there she is. So she came in to me as a lead, let's say. So she's got the little L. So when I filter out in the morning, I see that Minnie Mouse has been using my app. And I also see that Minnie Mouse, I'm going to take these away, has been looking at neighborhoods, not just, she's been looking at addresses. And I'm going to plug one of those addresses in because she hasn't given me an address. Okay. So all I have to do is say add neighborhood under Minnie Mouse, and note here as a side note, here it is again, view the Kelly guide. So if you're completely lost or it's not working and there were some prerequisite steps to doing this, you click on the Kelly guide and that'll help you back up so that you can move forward. So you go to add neighborhood. I always like to say find on map. And let's say that Minnie Mouse has been looking at 249 Quincy Ave. So that's just one of the addresses, but it's always around this same address. And remember, you can change this address at any time. I'll show you how this works. So here it is, and Keller Williams has partnered with Nextdoor. It's a company that creates marketing analysis based on neighborhoods rather than zip code. So if I zoom in on this map a little bit, here's the area that Minnie Mouse has said she likes a couple of homes at that address or around that address. And as I zoom in, all of these areas are neighborhoods. So now what I'm going to do is I want to set up a market profile, not by zip code, but by address. So I see that Minnie Mouse has gone a little bit east, and she's also gone just a little bit west. So I'm going to make up a marketing plan based on these 3 or 4 neighborhoods for her. And I say save, note down here, I've got the names of the neighborhoods, they just name them. And I say save. And now I can send out a URL, or I can send her a neighborhood plan. I'll show you, this is what it's going to look like. Hold on, it'll tie all together in a minute. So this is actually what I'm going to be sending her, and I'll show you how you can automate the sending of this. So this is just the neighborhoods, and she can zoom this map. Also, Minnie Mouse can add neighborhoods when she wants, and she can draw things in. And here is all the MLS listings that are available now. Here's your call to action with your mobile and office number. And here's your license number and information down below. And then the really cool part is that if she goes into neighborhood stats and clicks on this, she's going to have all the different neighborhood stats for each of these neighborhoods. And this is still being improved by KW. Right now, I think it's got some great stats in it, but it doesn't have everything. It does have transit. So let's say Minnie Mouse is over in Ohio or something, but she knows that she's going to be working in Kendall Square when she moves here in Cambridge. And she's like, okay, so how long is it going to take me to get to work? And she just puts that in, and she can show herself walking, driving, and biking. Obviously, you're also going to want metro information. I'm told that that's coming, but here she can have directions. And then this, they're starting to build out as well in KW, is basically what's in my neighborhood. Is there a grocery store? Is there shopping? Is there a fitness center? What is in my neighborhood? And this is going to show her exactly what's in the neighborhood. And then down here we have nearby neighborhoods. The other thing that they're talking about adding, although I think it's going to be many months before they do, honestly, is on the horizon, they want to add school district information as well. What schools are in the area, they'll probably start with that. And also they were talking about putting in rankings of schools, although that kind of information I think is going to be coming much later. So this is what she's going to get. Now, how do you make this arrive to Minnie Mouse automatically? Well, as long as your contacts have a neighborhood that you've identified, and you do have to identify it for every contact. Now, if the contact has a physical address, like the person is a seller, you can use their home address to build this neighborhood map for them. If they're a buyer, like I said, you can look at what they're looking at and use one of those addresses to build a neighborhood. But you do physically have to go in and build the neighborhood. At least that's the way it was as of a week or two ago. I'm told that in some other states, and I don't know why they can't do it for us, that as long as you have any address, that this neighborhood map, neighborhood nurture map, is automatically created when you do a smart plan. But that doesn't seem to be the case with us. So go ahead and feel free to play around with that. But let me show you what happens. So here's Minnie Mouse. And if I go into, let's see, smart plans, so I go through my database, I make sure everybody's got a neighborhood, at least one neighborhood set up associated with their name, just the way I showed you. And then I go back into smart plans and I go to the library, and I can choose any of these neighborhood nurtures. Let's say we want to start with monthly, and I simply say add it. And I'm not going to add it because I already have. I go back to my smart plans, and then here's neighborhood nurture. And all I do is I add the contact to a neighborhood nurture plan. See, it's saying me Daisy Duck has 2 neighborhoods. So I can just add Minnie Mouse here. I simply say Minnie and her, whoops, 2 N's. I could say Minnie Mouse has 4 neighborhoods, and I can add her to the plan. So in other words, I have the plan all set up. Oh, sorry. I have the plan all set up, and then I could just add that client to the plan. The other way you can add a client to the plan is via tags. So I'll just quickly run through that, and then we can just do some questions. Under contacts, you could apply a tag to every single contact. So if I go into Daisy Duck, I can apply a tag to every single contact, and that's in the information piece. So if I go here and I say edit, I'm going to get my contact page that I fill out, and here's tags. I can create a tag, or I can use the tags that are already developed. So I don't want to get into too much of this, but basically tags are used for the purpose of marketing. So you could just say all the people that come in, all the leads that come in through your app, tag as app leads or something. And that way, when you go to add people to a marketing, when you go to add people to a smart plan, instead of adding them individually, you can add it with tags. So I could go down here and I could just say, everybody who was an open house buyer prospect is going to be put on this smart plan. So in other words, so that's one other way to add people. You can add them individually, or you can add them. And once they're added, remember, they'll start at the top of the smart plan and they'll start to go through it. And that's how you can actually just keep in touch with them. So this is a monthly neighborhood smart plan. You could run that for a year. You could re-up it and run it for another year, keeping in mind that you're looking long term. Use this time to figure out ways to capture clients and put them into your, what they're calling now at KW, your web, which I don't really like because it makes you sound like a spider, but just that you can bring them in, and then when they're ready, just like the Nordstrom's analogy, when they're finally ready to sell their home or they're ready to buy, you're going to be the person that's sending them this stuff weekly, monthly. And also remember that these plans are not just email and text. They also require phone calls. So hopefully you're going to be incorporating phone calls into these smart plans, and you're going to be calling, texting, emailing these folks all the time. And don't worry about overdoing it, because I hear that, and I understand that the most successful agents are the agents that call, text. If people don't want your smart plan, there's an unsubscribe button right at the bottom. And the smart plan does come from your email address, so it's not like they won't know who's sending it to them. And all of your contact information is there. So if they really don't want to be on a smart plan, or they say, I wish you'd stop calling me, and there's going to be some of that, they'll tell you, but don't be shy about using it. All right, I just want to see if I can make sure you're all unmuted here. So how about questions?
I have a question.
Okay.
So Terry, it's you showed us on the neighborhood maps where there were insights, and like it looked like what's the word I want when you look up restaurant reviews?
Oh yeah. That's what they're using is.
Are those the insights that we have entered and other agents have entered, or is that?
Good question. No. I don't know why, Steve, but they look like they have basically, hold on, let me just bring this.
Merged, what's
They
that?
look like they're getting rid of insights now.
Okay,
From agents, which is really infuriating because I don't know why they've done that.
it
But
looks like Yelp. That's what it looks like.
yeah, it is Yelp. So
Okay.
what they've done is they're using Yelp instead. I have to believe that there was something to do with the fact that all the insights were so local that they couldn't get a handle on programming all those
Sure.
in. So they had to use something like Yelp, which is sort of a, an internet, worldwide type of thing.
Which is scary because people can, manipulate Yelp with positive reviews, and then you can't filter out the negative ones.
Right. But I
Mhm.
don't think the reviews are there.
Okay.
I think it's just, they're pulling just the data as to location and
Okay.
and what type of product, whether it's a grocery store or
Sure.
whatever. But the
Okay.
things that aren't there are things like playgrounds and
Yeah.
things like that. So they're going to have to get better with that, and
Right.
they know it. So,
Okay.
and it's not perfect, but I would say use it anyway,
Yeah.
because it's just a way for you to communicate with people.
And then would you recommend just sending the app to everyone in our database, or contact them first and ask if they would like it, or just go ahead and do it?
Go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be a little proactive and gutsy, and try to remember that you're not calling them up and saying, hey, I want to sell your home. I want
Right.
you to buy a home with me. What you're doing is you're coming from contribution,
Sure.
which is the KW way, and you're saying, hey, I got this great app. And, people are online at Zillow and Redfin, and this app was created with consumer testing, a lot of consumer testing.
Right.
So they talked about that at our last family reunion.
Mhm.
So they tested the heck out of this app.
Yeah.
Not all realtors like the way the app looks,
Right.
just like not all realtors don't really love the way the new website looks, but the customers absolutely raved about it. And this is exactly the type of app that customers are going online and using. You just want to make sure that they're using your app and not the one in Zillow and not the one, through any other place. So don't ask, just send. And
Okay.
hopefully,
And I'm sure it'd be
numbers game.
best not to send it to everyone on the same day, maybe, or
Yeah, you could send it to everybody at the same day. The idea is don't worry about it. Put as many people as you can on these smart plans.
okay.
And then what you can do is you can filter. You'll see when you get into the smart plan.
Yep.
One of the steps is going to be, so you send your email with the app invitation, and then the next step might be a phone call from you.
Right.
So you're not going to want to call 200 people. So
Right.
you can separate those out. So if there's, let's say, 5 or 6 or 7 days between the time you emailed and the time that you call people, each day you'll be calling 20 or 30 of those people.
Sure.
So that's the way it goes.
Okay.
But yeah, just don't be afraid. Send it
All right.
out.
Okay.
Real estate, I hate to say this, but in the very beginning, to capture your leads, it's a numbers game.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. And if you send this out to 10,000 people, you're going to get more leads. If you send it out to 50 people, you're going to get, the same ratio of leads, but you're going to get a fewer number.
Right.
So the idea is, drain your database and put everything on automation.
Okay.
Gary Keller is now saying he put out a new MREA book, Millionaire Real Estate Agent, and now he's saying, we're in an age of automation, we're in an age of social media, and he used to say with 250 people in your database, you could be a millionaire. Now he's saying you ought to have thousands and even tens of thousands after a
Right.
few years,
Right.
because we have the tools. That's what we're trying to show you here
Sure.
in Command. The tools to bulk handle all of these people at once. At least, get them into your pipeline.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much for today. This was good.
Oh,
Thank
good.
you.
Anybody else questions?
I'm new to all this, so I haven't even set up a database yet, but I'm assuming that you can go into the KW answer and it will guide you through all that as well.
Yes, Teresa. I'll send you I had this thing I set up, which was, and welcome.
Thank you very much.
I had something called Command A and Command B. And Command A is just basically how you set up command and how you do your database. I have all those instructions. So what is your email? Is it Teresa Sullivan at KW?
I have to look now because I just got it
Okay.
yesterday.
Okay.
You can sell it. It's Teresa Sullivan, yes, at KW.com.
Okay. All right. I will send that. I'm a Teresa also,
Oh, all right.
but I'm THERESA. All right. At KW. I will send that out to you today.
Thanks very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. And yeah, and if anybody wants any other information, I'm very, very happy to send it to them. Okay? So. All right, guys, thank
Thanks
you
so
for
much.
joining. And we'll talk soon.
Thanks, Terry.
Thank
right.
you.
Bye-bye.
And Terry.